Good morning. Welcome to Money, Markets, and Motivation with Mike. So our word of the day is anon. Anon is our word of the day, which means soon or shortly, an adverb. And some use of it has, I'll explain everything anon. So that is our word of the day. Let me pause for a second. Here is our heat map. Not sure if it is refresh, but we'll refresh it here. And let's see, it is having a little bit of a problem refreshing. So let's go look at our crypto list. Well, that is refreshing. So we're back here. Some of the big cap techs are taking a little on the nose or the chin, however you want to look at it. Amazon is down about 1%. Apple is down about 0.5%. Nvidia is down 3%. Broadcom is actually up 10%. Oracle is up. Palantir is down close to 2.5%, and Microsoft is down. All the banks are down. What happened is the jobs report came out a little bit of a shock. Was only 22,000 new jobs were created. So that is what the shock is all about. So Google and Meta are up slightly. T-Mobile, there are pockets of things moving, and we'll take a look at some stocks that are gapping up. But this is how the heat map looks this morning. And this is the crypto map, pullback from 112 on Bitcoin. And I believe this was near 4,500 on Ethereum. So it's kind of a mixed bag over here as well. And now we are going to go to our charts. First, I'm going to look at our little advertisement of the day. Okay. Share the screen. And you want to make sure that the market goes up on your account and does not go down. This is what this account does. For a portion of your portfolio, it might be a pretty good idea, especially if you want to prevent what happened in 2008 when the markets went down 54%. It beats index investing by about 5% per year. So it is a pretty good count. And if you want to learn more about this, there's several things out there. They have bonuses that go into your account as well. So please check in with me if you'd like to learn more. So now we're going to go to our charts. Interesting, this is Lennar. Lennar is popping up 6.82%, was up a little over 7% a little earlier when I looked at it. Earnings are in 12 days. So that is Lennar. And we'll look at some of the rest after we look at the indexes. The NASDAQ tried to move higher and is pulling back. It's off, not too bad considering. It's off 0.15%. The equal weight on the NASDAQ is off a little more, down 0.45%. S&P 500 is down about 0.5% today. Let's see what the equal weight in the S&P is. Equal weight is down 0.2%. Small capitalization, Russell 2000 is actually up 0.14. So this is where some of the money is moving. And the Dow Jones is off 0.6% today. So we're just going to take a look at a few issues. Here's the ETFs, consumer staples, trying to get above the 200-day moving average, up 0.22%. And look at healthcare. Healthcare is moving up over a little bit of a shelf, up 0.33%. Take a look at our biotech. Biotech continues strong, up 1.77%. And IBB is up strong as well. So this is where the money, big money is flowing today. Take a look at software. Software gets a little bit of a bounce, up 0.43%. Utilities, they're falling out of the pivot zone right now, under the 50-day moving average. Take a look at the VIX, the fear index. It is rising, up 3.76%. Diving in the 10-year Treasury on that employment news, down 2.5%, down to 4.1% on the interest. And this is our 20-year Treasury. Huge gap down on the 20-year, 2.83%, down to 3.46% on the interest. And let's take a look at the bonds. Huge gap up in price. So the interest rates are falling. It's up 1.42% today. Look at real estate. Real estate gaps up, gets above their 10-day moving average, up 0.77. And home builders got a nice move as well, move further into the pivot. That kind of looks like the news from Lennar. Look at DR Horton, moves out of the pivot zone here, up 3.23%. So let us go over, this is a huge cup pattern here, huge cup with handle. Guess this is a handle right here. Breaks above the handle. This is a pretty good place to put on your buy. And you could add some right about here. Here's what the big money is flowing today. ABVX, regulatory mechanism to modulate immune response, up 3.62% today. This is a bit extended. Definitely held the gap. So this would have been the ideal To add onto this, this is a gap, definitely held the gap onto Celestica. Gaps up, huge volume over here, up about 8% today. This would have been a pretty good buy point right here. If you could get this close to the low here, might be good. If it takes out the bottom here in the coming days, then I would get out. But as long as it holds the bottom of the gap, it is safe to hold. Credo Tech was on here yesterday, and it continues up today, up another 3.54%. Look at all these blue volume bars. Earnings came in at close to 1,000% increase year over year quarter. This was a 44% earnings surprise. On to Lumentum. Lumentum continues higher. If you were going to buy on this stair stepper, this would have been the place to buy. Right now, it's pretty extended. Daco New Energy, 25.54. So 25.64 would have been the buy point. This would have been a good place to buy right here. 26.06 right now. I just kind of watch this. Unity Software. And it breaks out of this little mini pullback. Pretty good volume so far today, up close to 6%. And here is Broadcom. Got a huge gap up. Earnings came in at a 36% increase year over year quarter. People were pleased with that. This is the highest volume in the base. Not much of a base, but it did gap up here. Once again, if you can buy close to the bottom and hold and see if it holds the low of the gap. Oh, I did not look into our ITA. This is Missile Defense and Space Programs, aerospace, goes kind of pops out of the pivot zone here, up 13% today. Pretty good volume right here. Look at this new high on the relative strength line. Relative strength rating beats 94% of all the stocks on the market. I would say this is a little high on the pivot here. May want to watch tomorrow or put in a smaller buy. And if it pulls back, you can add to it. Barrick Mining is number 9 on our list. A lot of these mining stocks are getting a lot of money flowing into them. Doesn't really show it, but the relative strength line is at a new high, up 4.22%. Look at these earnings increases, 61% this year, 26% next year. We have another gold stock just powering through, up 8.5%. Pretty good volume right here. Another biotech. The early buy would have been right around here. Guess that would have been 18.75 would have been good buy point here. It is now powered out of the pivot, getting close to the profit zone. Look at these earnings, up 64% this year, 144% next year. Little biotech, Neurocrine Biosciences. Pulled back to the 20-day moving average and then bounced yesterday, and we got a continuation today up another 3%. Pretty low volume, but that is the story there. Here's Guidewire Software. Came out with good earnings. It's up 35% on the earnings and 18% on the stock price today. I believe, let's see, there was DocuSign that came out yesterday. Got a gap up here, up 5%. Still has some room to go. It needs to get above the 200-day. Earnings came in at loss of 5%. Samsara came up with a good earnings report, up 140% year over year quarter. Gap up and kind of in the middle of the range, up close to 14% today. Look at this huge volume, 3 days in a row. The volume just keeps increasing. So those are all good tidings there. And that's kind of a look at our chart analysts analyzing today. Right here, this needs to kind of repair itself. These lines here needs to get above the 200-day, and we'll just see where that goes from here. Let's take a look at, I'm going to take a look at a couple more. This is Shoulder Innovations. We showed them earlier in the week, building a base on an IPO base. I think it may be outside of the IPO base, so maybe it'll be the institutional under the covers first stage base, where they kind of analyze the company. But we'll keep our eye on this one. And then big and a pretty lousy earning report. So they just kind of dived down. They're down another 1.23% today. Let's take a look at a couple of the ones we're holding. Palantir did sell off, but it's bouncing back, down about 2%. NVIDIA is pulling back under the 50-day moving average. We'll see if that can set up again. App pulls back to the 10-day moving average and bounces, down 3.38%. And let me trying to think of, oh yes, Bros, Dutch Brothers falls below the 20-day moving average, down a little over 5%. Semtech just riding along the 60-day line here. We'll see if it can get any momentum. We're kind of happy where this one is currently located. And that will be the end of our chart analysis as we looked at a couple of issues that we're currently working with. I'm going to share our word of the day now. Actually, our quote of the day. Quote of the day comes from Marcus Aurelius. I believe he was leader of one of the Roman empires. And his quote is, "Each day provides its own gifts." So be grateful for what you have, for being able to see the sunrise again today, and go out there and have a great weekend. Thank you for tuning in. If you can find anybody you can help out, even if it's just adding a smile to their face, please do your best at that. And let's help each other make this a better place to live in. In the meantime, have a great day.